Yeah, welcome to this video about the converter component in Oemof.Solph. I have based my energy system and my code on the example provided in Oemof.Solph about the CHP, and I have included energy data from Germany from the spot market. This is the energy system we are talking about today. It consists of a gas resource, which is the source of energy. This is feeding into the natural gas bus, which in turn is connected to the converter element, the CHP plant in the middle. And as you can see, the CHP plant has two outputs. One is the electricity bus and one is the heat bus. The electricity is connected to the electrical sink, which is basically the feed-in of electricity into the grid. And the heat bus is connected to the heat demand. Thusly, we have a fixed heat demand curve, and we also have a storage curve, which is a storage component, and the storage component is representing a heat storage system. Thus, we have a fixed heat demand, we have a storage element, a thermal storage to buffer between consumption and production, and we have a surplus of electricity which is being fed into the grid. Well, this is how the components are called in the code. We have the R gas for the source, the B gas, bus gas, we have the bus electric, bus thermal, we have the CHP underscore gas, the excess underscore for the bus electric, we have the demand for the underscore thermal, and we have the storage component. These are the electricity prices for 1 week. As you can see, we have a weekly pattern, meaning that during high demand we have of course higher prices, and low demand we have lower prices. But as you can see, we have also patterns which are based on the production of renewables. So for example, here we can see there's quite a bit of renewable energy being produced in the system, and the price even drops to the negative area. This is the thermal demand pattern. It's basically just an electrical demand pattern which I have refactored to match my size. However, as you can see, there's a weekly and there's a daily pattern which will serve its purpose here. We have around 9,271,301 kilowatt hours per week, which is 9.2 megawatt hours per week. This would be equivalent of around 500,000 megawatt hours per year, and this is district heating in a city close by for around 50,000 people in a city of 100,000 people. So it's quite a big district heating system. Here are the bus objects. You can see 3 buses: the gas bus, the electricity bus, and the heat bus. All those buses are added to the energy system. We have the source objects, which is in this case only the R gas object, which is connected to the output of the gas bus, so the B gas, via flow. We have the sink objects, in this case 2 objects, the one for the excess electricity. As you can see, we have connected it to the electricity price we have provided for our system, and with a negative -1, since we are getting the money for feeding in the electricity. Here at the lower half, we have created a sink for the thermal energy, which is connected to our thermal demand, which is a fixed data pattern, or a fixed curve. We have a converter object, which is representing our CHP gas power plant. combined heating and power production, which is input we have natural gas, the natural gas flow from the bus. We have as outputs the electricity bus and the thermal bus, both connected via flows. And as you can see, the nominal value is 20 to the power of 4, or 20 times 10 to the power of 4, which is 200 megawatt of electrical installed power. And we have a thermal, I think it's switched here. We have a 250 megawatt installed thermal capacity, and the efficiency is 0.4 for the electrical production. The efficiency for the thermal production is 0.5, and combined we have 450 megawatt of electrical and thermal installed capacity, and the combined efficiency of 0.9. And thus we know that we have a maximum hourly consumption of gas of 500 megawatt, which is 450 divided by 0.9. The storage object is, in this case, the dimension to 300 megawatt hours with a loading and unloading capacity of 50 megawatt per hour. The variable costs are 0.001 euro per kilowatt hour or 1 euro per megawatt hour, and the efficiency is 0.99. So nearly no conversion losses. This is the code and where you can assign the different dimensions. And if we run this, we see that we have a total gas consumption of nearly 19,000 megawatt hours. We have nearly 10,000 or 9,300 megawatt hours of thermal production and 7,471 megawatt hours of electrical production. This, which makes sense since the conversion efficiency of the thermal was 0.5 and the efficiency of the electrical output was 0.4, and we have thus a difference of 1,869 megawatt hours of losses, and these losses are of two kinds. Firstly, they are the losses produced in the CHP plant, and secondly, they are the losses produced in the storage component. As you can see, we have here CHP to heat, or CHP gas to heat, and CHP gas to electricity, and we have gas to CHP gas, which is equivalent to the numbers here. Here the small graph, which means 50% is produced, or 50% of the gas is converted to heat, 40% is converted to electricity, and a little bit more than 10%, but around 10% are being converted to losses. In the storage utilization, we can see that we have an input of 6,799 megawatt hours, we have an output of 6,731 megawatt hours, and this means we have losses of around 68 megawatt hours, which is equivalent to 1%. This is the dispatching profile. As you can see, we are producing energy when the prices are high, and since we have a very low price zone in the weekend, we don't want to use as the CHP plant on the weekend, but we want to use it when the prices are high, thus for example before the weekend to fill the storage system, and then we use the thermal storage system on the weekend to provide the thermal energy without utilization of the CHP plant. And as you can see in green, in green we have the gas flow, and then 50% of the gas flow is the heat and 40% is the electricity flow. So we always have a fixed relation between the three. Here you can see the storage system or the storage component and its connected flows. In the blue, heat to storage, so loading the storage system. In green, storage to heat, so unloading the storage system. As you can see, it's either one is positive. Both of them cannot be positive or should not be positive at the same time. And you can see that we are heat to storage, so we are loading the storage system. It goes up. It's green here, so it's unloading. The storage content is going down, going up, going down. And as mentioned before, here we are loading the storage system again. And for the weekend where we have very low electricity prices, we are using the storage system to provide or to cover the thermal demand. Yeah, here again with the large storage we have the same. With the small storage system we can see that the utilization is a little bit higher because we cannot cover it. If we compare it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 utilizations. And if we compare it here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times we use the CHP plant. So 13 times we have to use the CHP plant, so a little bit more. And you can also see that it's a little bit more uneven because we are working more closely to the demand and we are less decoupled from the thermal demand pattern. Yeah, here is the storage for the small storage. The small storage has 100 megawatt hours, so in this case you can see that it's utilized more frequently. The CHP is also utilized more frequently, and all in all we have a higher utilization of the components, which makes sense since the decoupling of thermal production and thermal consumption is lower than in the example with the large storage system. Thank you very much.